Hi, it's Beth with West Coast Wool, and I am back to talk about blocks number 10, 11, and 12 of our Bird Dance Block of the Month program. Now, the program is closed, but I have lots of books on the website, and I'll put a link in the description to let you know where you can get your book. So let's go over to the work table, and let me show you what's in your kit this month. Let's have a look at what's in your kit, and then I'm going to show you the blocks. This video is going to be pretty long, so hopefully I can explain everything. There's a lot going on this month. So let's get started. You're going to get this beautiful background. It's a light Pajaro Dunes that I dyed, so that'll be your background this month. Your birds are going to be this dogwood rose color. And you're going to get some chartreuse, some red, some mango, and your cotton overlays are going to be this kind of like tree bark fabric. And you're going to get some of this really pretty print. You're going to make a circle out of this. And you've got this pretty blue mix cotton overlay. And you are going to get some velvet. So here's the velvet you're going to get. You're also going to get a piece of this Appliquick stabilizer, which I'll talk about later, but that's going to be in your kit. And you're going to also have a piece of rickrack that you're going to stitch with. And you're also going to get quite a few threads this month. I kind of loaded you up, and I was going to keep one back, but I felt like we needed it. So you're going to get a lot of threads. So if you opted for the auto ship for the wool threads, these are the two new ones that you're going to get this month. This will be new. You're going to get a Eleganza 2207. It's turtle. So number 8. You're going to get this really pretty, it's Eleganza 1090. This is one of my favorite reds. I love this red. It goes with so much. So you're going to get some of that. It's called Cranberry. You're going to get some of this beautiful Dinky Dyes Silk Pearl, and it's called Mother of Pearl. So you're going to get that in your kit. You're also going to get some of this House of Embroidery. It's Larkspur, and it's 80C. I've already wound mine. This is my skein. It's a really pretty pink purple color, so you're going to get a skein of that. So let's talk about the blocks for this month. They're so pretty. So the first one I'm going to show you is this bird. So this is block number 10, and I had so much information. I actually took some notes on this. For this block, I think there was a few things that were not in the pattern but are pictured, and I think that was because Sue must have added it after the book went to the publisher. So I tried to do my best in giving you good instructions, but I just kind of want to mention a couple of things. There is a chain stitch that you're going to be doing, and I'll pull this up so you can see it, along the edge, outer edge of this wing. It's not in the book, but I decided that it needed that. I haven't finished mine, but you're going to do a chain stitch right there. And what was not in the book also was this rosette chain stitch that goes across the top of this cotton overlay. And it's pictured in the book, but there's no instructions. So I have instructions for that. I decided that we needed to add a little color to our flowers down at the bottom. So you're going to do that. Also, what was not in the book was some embellishing on this head feather, I guess. And you're going to do a chain stitch, and you're going to do some French knots over the top. And I'm just going to let you have a quick look at that. All the beaks are the same color. You can kind of see they're that red. So you're going to have the same color this month. So that is block number 10. So let's look at block number 11. So here's block number 11. And for your background, I added the pink for the little flowers. I just thought it needed some color. You're also going to see that on the bird itself, I added these, what do you call it, fly stitches at the top of the head. So this wasn't in the pattern, but I added them and I gave you instructions. And you're going to do your woven circle, or your woven picot in on the bird. Oh, I'm tongue-tied today. Also, you have this little band that goes on the bird. I added the fly stitch that's going across, so that's something that's been added to it. I also changed the circles here. So you've got 3 wool circles. And I made note that I did a 5-spoke whipped woven circle on each one, and then I did a chain stitch around. So that, I think in the book it was a bullion knot, but I kind of changed that up. So this is a pretty quick block. You're going to do some bullion loops right here, and also what was not in the book was back stitching around this edge here, so you can kind of see that you're going to back stitch. And then I did some French knots in a little bit of a color instead of the neutral background. So that is block number 11. So let's take a look at block number 12. So here's block number 12. You are going to be doing some pistol stitches in the bottom part of this block, and I did not do it in the neutral. This is why I gave you the green this month, because I felt like it needed some greenery. So that's why you've got that extra spool that we'll be using in other months, but you have it early. So you've got that. And let me see, what else did we change? Also around the edge of the bird here, I changed the instructions. I think it said to do a Palestrina knot, I can't recall, but I changed it to couching. So you're going to take the larkspur as your lay down thread, and the Easy M26, which is Pretty Please, you're going to use that as your couching thread, and you're going to do that all the way around the bird. You can see that. You're also going to make a slight change for this cotton overlay. Sue didn't have instructions for stitching outside the circle, and I'm going to have you do a coral stitch. And you're going to do the coral stitch in the background, but you're not going to pick up the applique. You're going to strictly stay in the background as you stitch around the circle. I think it makes it a little bit neater. Also, you are going to do some bullion knots here for the waddle, which is really kind of fun. It turned out great. It's pretty easy. You're just going to do a series. I started here at the base and I worked my way out, and I just did a series of bullion knots until I filled it all in. And then on the comb, I changed the back stitch. I believe the back stitch was around the edge, but I decided to put a chain stitch. So you're going to do a chain stitch. Oh, and I noticed I have not sewn the eyeballs on yet. I'll have those on by the time the stuff goes to the printer. So one thing I want to talk to you about is the velvet circles. There are instructions for making there's instructions for 2 different ways of doing the velvet circles. Sue has 2 in the book, and then I have my own method. For me, I like my circles to be very uniform and button-like. And in order to do that, I use the stabilizer. It's that Appliquick stabilizer. And what I do is I draw a circle, I cut out the circle, I lightly press it to the back of the velvet, and then you're going to cut the velvet a generous 1/4 of an inch away from the circle. And I have detailed instructions for you, and I think I'm going to try to do a separate video on how I do this, because I use a glue stick, I turn the edges in, and it keeps the velvet in place so it's easy for me to stitch it down. And when you use this method, I feel like it's more uniform and it has this button look and feel to it. You can use any method you like. I just happen to like this method, so that's the method I'm gonna use on these, and you have a choice of which way you want to do it. But I will try to do a video so that you can, you know, kind of have a good idea of how I achieve that. And the last thing I want to mention that you will see in the picture, there are some cast on bullion knots around this velvet. I believe it's in the neutral based on what the picture looks like. I did not put them on my bird. I felt like they looked really good without it, but if you want to stitch those bullion cast-ons around, I gave you instructions for doing that. I would suggest making a 10 cast-on bullion knot and just go around the circle. You don't have to. I felt like mine looked nice without it, so that is an option for you. And I think that is it for this month. I know it was a long video and I appreciate you staying with me. If you have any questions, you can either comment below or send me an email, and I will talk to you next month.